Today's story begins with one of the most explosive headlines to hit the political internet in weeks. Elissa Slotkin immediately resigns after alleged connections surface in the attack on two National Guardsmen in Washington, D.C. Within minutes, this headline took on a life of its own, circulating across social media platforms, political forums, commentary pages, and TikTok edits, claiming to show new evidence. But like many viral stories in the modern digital world, the noise grew much faster than the facts. And that's exactly what we're breaking down today. Before we go deeper, it is important to understand that there has been no confirmed report stating that Elissa Slotkin resigned or that she is officially connected to any attack. The headline emerged from the online ecosystem itself, not from official government announcements or verified news sources. Today's episode will explore not the truth of the claim, but the environment that allowed the rumor to explode, the emotional reactions it generated, and what the entire moment reveals about American politics in 2025. The rumor began quietly. A small political meme page posted a cropped image paired with a dramatic caption suggesting a shocking twist involving Slotkin, the National Guard, and a violent incident in D.C. The post was short, vague, but emotionally charged. And in today's social media climate, that's all it takes. It spread from one page to another, reshared by users who reacted instantly instead of investigating. Within an hour, the story jumped from niche pages to larger communities, and within a few more hours, it was being discussed like breaking news. The first question people had was simple. Why Slotkin? Why did the rumor target her specifically? Elissa Slotkin has long been a figure who draws attention. A former CIA analyst, a Democratic congresswoman, a public official known for strong positions on national security and federal programs, she carries a profile that sits at the intersection of politics, intelligence, and public safety. That combination alone makes her a lightning rod for speculation whenever a national security-related event hits the headlines. So when two National Guardsmen were reportedly attacked in Washington, D.C., the internet was already primed to start connecting dots that weren't there. The lack of information about the incident in the early hours created a vacuum. And in the digital era, a vacuum doesn't remain empty. It gets filled by theory, assumption, speculation, and every possible narrative depending on which group is talking. For some political commentators, the rumor was immediately seen as part of a broader storyline. They argued that the situation reflected deeper tensions between political groups, between federal agencies and the communities they serve, and between the public and the government. For others, the rumor was simply another opportunity to criticize a politician whose positions they disagreed with. And for many, it was pure shock value, a headline designed to grab attention and force an emotional reaction before the facts could catch up. Then came the second wave, the claim that Slotkin had resigned. That part of the rumor took off because it added a dramatic twist. Resignations carry weight. They suggest guilt, urgency, scandal, or accountability. In American politics, the idea of a sudden resignation is irresistible to audiences who have grown used to seeing political drama unfold in real time. So as soon as the rumor included the word resigns, engagement skyrocketed. Comments flooded in. People who had never heard of Slotkin before suddenly had opinions. Others who followed her career closely were confused, wondering where the resignation announcement had come from. And as usual, the rumor traveled faster than the corrections. Fact-checkers were still catching up while thousands of posts continued spreading the claim. This is where we need to pause and examine how digital media shapes political perception. In the past, political scandals required evidence, reporting, or statements from officials. Now all it takes is a viral headline, an emotional caption, and a community primed to believe the worst. The Slotkin rumor is a case study in how narratives are born, not through truth, but through repetition. Meanwhile, the actual attack on the National Guardsmen remained a serious and tragic event, deserving of proper investigation and accurate reporting. But the internet often has a habit of overshadowing real issues with sensational stories. Instead of focusing on the security concerns, the conditions of the victims, or how such an incident could be prevented in the future, attention shifted entirely to speculation about a political figure who had not been officially linked to the situation at all. As the rumor grew, it began to evolve. Some posts claimed that ABC News was preparing a special segment. Others claimed that the Department of Justice had opened an inquiry. Neither claim had confirmation, but the internet was already treating them as established facts. People were sharing screenshots, many of which were edited, reused from old news cycles, or taken out of context from completely unrelated events. The most striking part of this episode is not even the rumor itself. It is the speed at which people accepted it. This tells us something important about the current political atmosphere. There is a deep sense of distrust, a readiness to assume corruption, and a tendency to believe that any shocking headline might be true simply because the political landscape feels so unstable. In other words, people don't wait for proof anymore. The idea feels believable enough, so it must be real. That mindset is exactly what fuels misinformation. At the same time, the emotional reactions surrounding the National Guard attack were real and raw. People wanted answers. They wanted accountability. They wanted to know who was responsible and why two guardsmen serving their country were targeted. The search for answers created the perfect conditions for a rumor to thrive. When people are afraid or angry, they are more likely to believe dramatic explanations, even without evidence. And then came the commentary ecosystem. YouTubers, TikTok creators, political streamers, and social media analysts jumped into the discussion, not necessarily to verify the story, but to ride the wave of virality. In today's online culture, trending topics become opportunities. Even if the information is unclear, creators know that audiences are searching for it. This leads to videos, live streams, and reaction content that amplify the narrative instead of clarifying it. Some creators approach the story with caution, analyzing the rumor rather than accepting it. Others leaned into speculation, presenting theories as possibilities and possibilities as facts. And in the end, the lines blurred further. The political opposition also became part of the discussion. Critics of Slotkin used the rumor to reinforce existing narratives about her positions on national security. Supporters dismissed the rumor as an obvious smear. But the wider public, especially those who do not follow politics closely, were left confused. When every page says something different, misinformation becomes easier to believe than the truth. This moment also raises a question about digital responsibility. Who controls the narrative? Who corrects the falsehoods? Who ensures that public figures are not unfairly targeted by manipulated stories? The reality is that in today's fast-paced media landscape, responsibility is shared, but consistency is lacking.